Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. I think I remember that we were doing the story. Hello, Wystan. What's up, Wystan? 'Twill bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours. Betrayed by my own guards. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Lolorito owns the God's Dam's brass blazed. I should have questioned their motives from the start. Even so, I could hardly have predicted the wealthiest man in Ul'dah would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant, for God's sakes. That ruthless bastard. And what of the monstrosity? Those were his own men. It beggars belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay in Ul'dah any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, gods, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you, gods damn it, if Lolorito learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others to make sure your part in this stays secret. Beyond that, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Momodi. She's helped countless adventurers in her time. Mayhap she'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend. Lolorito's spies may be watching. Oh, so now I'm part of a conspiracy. That's what it is. I'm a conspirator. Alright, so I am going to do some of the side quests. So for people wondering what this red one is, so essentially this guy wants us to give a high potion to Osbert. So we do not currently have a high potion. Here's the thing, you can buy one. Alright, they are for sale, you can purchase them. You just go to purchase items. High potion, it's 146 skill, you buy it, then you give it to this guy. There are some quests that will give you high potions if you don't want to wait. Which I don't want to wait. So, now as for buying potions, okay, here's the thing. Potions do not heal a lot, okay? I remember that there was a time where I felt like you needed to have potions to some extent. I don't really feel like they do a lot. Occasionally they'll help with like a fate or something, where you need like that extra buff or something like that. But ultimately they're really not as helpful as you would think. I kind of just keep them as a just in case, especially once you unlock your chocobo and your chocobo has a whole bunch of skills like being able to heal you and things like that. Even though it doesn't do maybe as much as a potion, it kind of gives you enough of a boost. I don't know how to explain it. All I'm saying is that these regular potions, I'll have like 70 billion of these by the time we're done with all these quests. So do not waste your money on potions, alright? Do not waste your money on high potions or anything else, okay? Like, at least for that matter. Like, buying ether, potions, whatever. Maybe once upon a time they were relevant and they were needed. I don't see that being the case now. So yeah, just don't waste your gil on it. So, I've never had to anyways. So... But yeah, sometimes you'll have quests like this where you have to like go pick up items around enemy bases. The whole point is that you don't have to be stealthy, they expect you to get into encounters. So, alright, so here's the thing. If you notice these guys have red on them, and these guys have blue, blue means that they're more of a passive enemy that aren't going to attack you unless you attack them. Red means that they will attack you on sight if you're within like their level. You have to be 11 levels above a monster for them not to aggro to you. So since we're only level 13 and these guys are level 9, we are still within the aggro, like, level range. So we're gonna aggro to anything that's, you know, like I said, 11 levels, you know, within that range. Don't ask me why it's 11 and not 10. I don't have an answer for you. That's just how it is. So, but yeah, anything with blue is a passive enemy that's not going to attack you unless you attack it. The only exception is if you get to a certain level. Once you get to a super high level, you'll notice that monsters kind of team up on you. So if I'm like level, 12, and I attack a level 1 rat or whatever, then other monsters will join in. It's kind of a way of making things fair, I guess, like kind of leveling the playing field, even though it doesn't really level anything. But yeah, that's just another random thing that happens. But like I said, you're not really gonna notice it much, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. There is an event going on right now called The Rising. We are not a high enough level for the Rising, I don't believe. I think for any event, you have to actually be... Yeah, I think you have to be level 15. So, if we can get to level 15, then we can participate... We can participate in the Rising. The Rising... That's why all these crystals are here. So the Rising happens every year. It's almost like the New Year. But it's essentially to celebrate those that were lost in the fall of Dalamud. So it's a day to remember the people that were lost in the Battle of Cartanel and lost to the Calamity. Settle down, Sam. You've got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know you were at the ruins. Wystan, on the other hand, is now a pariah, about as welcome around here as a rabid wolf. Poor bugger. I said wolf, not wolf. Sheesh. Suffice to say that boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lolorito, chairman of the East Aldenar Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Nodthal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he is by leaving loose ends. That's one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Hells, even if those blades knew what was coming, it's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this color your view of Ul'dah, Sam. It's true that there are some here who ain't afraid to crack a few skulls if it gets them what they want, but most of us are decent folk just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, Sam, and for that you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? Oh, this is where she opens up in rooms. I'll have the boys at the Hourglass set you up a room, just my treat. Just have a word with Otopa Patopa whenever you feel like staying. In rooms are important if you want to, like, change glamours and stuff. And when you've got your appetite for adventuring back, considering taking on a guild leave or two. We have a lot of requests from locals who are looking to hire adventurers for various jobs, and it'd be a good way for you to earn yourself some extra gil. Eustace can tell you more about the system work, so go speak with him if you're interested. Stupid Hrothgar, you made me look bad. If you don't get that reference, you're too young. Okay, so quest completo. You have recommendations now. Thanks. Ooh, I don't want them. Ooh. Leaves of the Horizon. Oh. Alright, look what the Coral dragged in. Good to see you, Sam. I'd ask what brings you here, but I reckon we both know the answer to that already. Well, have I ever let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. So it happens I know a fellow by the name of Didanin who needs help. He's a merchant by trade, selling precious stones to those in Ul'dah with the means to buy them. He asked that I send any looking for work his way. You can find him over in Horizon if you fancy. That's in western Thanalan, mind you. Just cross the bridge north of Scorpion Crossing, and the road will take you there. Knowing the circles he deals in, he might have some of the royal family. He might have some talk of the royal family that'll interest you as well. And why not make use of a chocobo porter if for the journey to Horizon, if you've the gil for it, that is. You'll find the chocobo stables across from the quicksand. Find a Mimi gun. He'll set you straight. Well, off you go then. I haven't got all day to be holding your bloody hand. Cool. Also, we're gonna pick up leave meats. So I don't know if they call them levies or leaves. I call them leaves. They're probably levies. I'm just gonna call them levies because that sounds actually professional. So levies, essentially, chocobo porter, take me to Horizon. Yeah. But anyways, not chocobo porters, levies. Levies are tasks. That's really all it is. It's just a task. So you essentially get an assignment and you do the assignment. And you get rewarded for doing the assignment. It's like a quest, but for some odd reason it's a repeatable quest. There, that's the best way to explain it. Levies, not leaves, levies are repeatable quests that you can do over and over and over and over. And they give you a decent amount of experience. So if you're leveling a new class, or, you know, you just want to get a few levels in before heading to the next section or something like that, you can do levies. Now, there are levies for various things. There are guild levies, there are crafting levies and gathering levies, there are, you know, combat levies. So there's essentially a levy for anything. So, I mean, I guess there's that. But that's really all there is. Like, there's levies for everything. Whoa, that's a wide turn, my chocobo. I almost said my chocoboy. That might have been more clever, and I probably should have gone with it, but it didn't. So, sag. Okay, this is Horizon. Anyways, I'm gonna tune to Aetheryte, be your bees. Give me big crystal energy. Me with my mismatched armor. And of course we have a bunch of other quests here too, so. Didanin, what's up, Didanin? Sam, I presume? Hi, Momodi said to expect you, and so I have. Welcome to Horizon. Ours is a trading settlement that sees goods in from the port of Vesper Bay to the west, and trade we do. Nary a day goes by that Horizon isn't bustling with some manner of merchants and officials. They keep us running about busy, they do, enough so that I wish I had chocobo legs in place of my own, and that's why I've asked Momodi to send me any souls looking for work. 12, no, there's plenty of it to be done around here. Speak to me again when you're ready to make yourself of some use. Bruh, I just talked to you. Why do I gotta talk to you again? I guess. At least he offers armor and stuff. I'm gonna pick up these extra quests real quick. And then I will probably explain the levy. Because the first levy we get is actually pretty easy, so I'm not really worried about it. So in town, you'll find these people, See, that's why this has to be like leave meet, because otherwise it'd be levy medi. I don't know. But anyways, so whenever you talk to this person, they'll give you a quest, alright, and then you just accept it. The quest for the levy will be highlighted in green, so you'll have this green arrow right here, and you essentially follow it to where there'll be this big circle. And it'll show you basically where you can activate this particular levy. And I don't know why it's this way, I don't know why it's so complicated. But I'm just going to demonstrate what the levies look like. Because here's the thing, I've not really had to do too many of them. I do the one that opens up every like new area or whatever. But outside of that, I don't really do them too much unless I'm leveling a new class. So you see on the mini-map, it'll tell you that this is the area for this specific levy. You're going to click your levy quest and do initiate. You'll be like, okay, your home point is not set to an Aetheryte in this area. If you return to your current home point at any time during this levy quest, you'll automatically abandon the duty. I don't care. It'll ask you what recommended level you want the levy. You can actually lower the difficulty of this levy, which I don't think is necessary. But yeah. And obviously the harder that you make it for yourself, the more experience you're going to get. So, the one thing I like is that once you finish the levy, it'll basically like say, hey, do you want to return to the person that gave you the quest? And you can press yes, and then it teleports you right back. And then you talk to the person, you collect all the stuff, you get bonuses based on difficulty, speed of completion, and you can get armor, you can get different items, you can get, you know, special completion bonus experience. Like, it's really not a bad deal. So, and then there's, like I said, there's different types of levies, and you can essentially just do those if you want to like level up and do extra stuff. It's literally just all extra stuff. And this guy unlocks the duty finder so that I can start guild hests. So guild hests, I don't even know really how to explain this much, but guild hests are essentially, they kind of just teach you how to do dungeons. There's only the one, and it essentially, like it says, it tests your ability to manage multiple parties of enemies. So it teaches you the basics of how to do a dungeon, and it's very short. So it's kind of like a super itty-bitty mini dungeon. And when I mean super itty bitty mini dungeon, I mean it's gonna take you less than 15 minutes. So, that's all I really got to say on those. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that MMOs tend to throw at you, and they're not really good at explaining what those things are. So that's why I kind of wish people did MMOs in more of a long play fashion. I know that it's really popular to stream them instead, because obviously they are so long. They take so long to play and get through, and it's a lot of fluff and filler. But at the same time, like, if someone's really wanting to get into something, if they're watching a streamer that's come in, like, right at the end of learning how to play, and they're all at endgame content, I mean, it looks intimidating. Whereas this way, you can kind of come in, you know, I guess later on, and it doesn't look half as intimidating, because you're like, okay, yeah, this person really sucked at the beginning, or struggled, and now, you know, they learned how to do it, and I'm learning how to do it through them. I don't know. Am I making sense? I just got home from work, so... Oh. It so happens that I have a situation that must be resolved post-haste, and I do mean post-haste. Are you calling me out for doing all those extra quests real quick, Dadanin? I'm plumb out of premium product, and my latest order has yet to arrive. If I keep my customers waiting any longer, this could irrevocably damage my reputation. What's worse is I paid my man in advance for his services. Despite his assurances that it would be a simple affair, I've heard nothing since he departed for Copperbell Mine days ago. Find Drunken Stag and give him this notice. I cannot afford any further delay. Sure. Although if you haven't heard from a man in that long, he might be dead. 'Cause that's just, yeah... That, and honestly, I've been in Copperbell Mines, because it is a dungeon, so it's like, I know what it's like in there, so, hate to break it to you, but maybe this man dead. I'm also, of course, just going to do... Aww. Too bad I came at the end of this fate, because I kind of need the dusty mongrels. Come here, I just want to kill you. Let me kill you. Please. Please. Let me kill you. Don't despawn on me. No. No, don't despawn on me. Come back here. Crap. Well, at least I can still kill you, I guess. Oh yeah, this eye mechanic. So when there's a cone like that, essentially it just means stay out of the cone. But when you see an eye like that, you essentially want to look away. You want to look away as fast as you can. Because normally that is a sort of like petrification. And the thing is if you have auto attack, you will still turn towards the enemy. So that's one of those things where you're going to want to look away, walk away from the enemy so that you're not auto attacking it. Because otherwise you are screwed. Anywho. So that's one of those mechanics where in the early, like, game and DLCs, so like Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, you're not going to see too much of that mechanic, where it's not in some sort of cone. But later on, it's like crazy, like, in use in like all major dungeons. What do you want, Dadanin's product. Yeah, dude. He can send all the notices he likes, but it won't change a thing. The concern has closed the mine due to some incident in the depths. It's a god's damn shame, too. Lost a decent haul just over yonder during all the chaos. Well... Ooh, we leveled up. Now we can probably do the Rising. Ooh, we also learned Provoke. I wonder what I'll go and provoke. Alright, the product you heard Dadanin going on about is a valuable gemstone known as raw nashashite. Nashashite? Nashakite? I think it's nashakite. I managed to dig up a goodly amount just before the mines were closed off, actually. Packed it up and hauled it out even, but then them 12 damned goblins came along, not like any goblins I'd seen before, and hungry only for the good rocks. They had eyes for my gemstone, so I had no choice but to oblige. The stone torches had their hands full evacuating the mines, so they ignored the beasts. Even now, they're only concerned with keeping people out. Please, friend, if you're willing to face the goblins, would you bring me my nashikite? Sure. Nashikite? I'm still gonna call it that. I don't know. Maybe not. So now, we get to go in and grab stuff. Also, that side quest wants me to get tools. So, time to fight the goblin. Goblins are really interesting. And the thing is like, I obviously have a soft spot for them because the first experience I ever had playing this game, some kind person who knew I was new literally gave me a mini goblin as a minion, and I made it into, like, a canon event for my character. Like, that specific character was like, oh yeah, my first pet was a goblin named Tumbles, because he would just tumble all the time. And so yeah, like, I don't know, that really shaped a lot of my, not a lot of my character's lore, but it shaped my character's lore because it was just such a cute event. This person going, oh, you're new, here, take this minion, I think you'll like it. And it was just a little goblin. A little ugly little thing. I love it. This community is really great. I'm not gonna, I personally think it's the best MMO community I've ever been a part of, but it's not perfect. I kinda hate it when people are like, it's the best, and they don't mention that it's still kinda crappy sometimes, you know? It's kind of like other communities that I'm a part of. There's obviously a lot of good, you know, in these communities. There's also a lot of bullcrap too. So, I mean, you gotta know that one exists and the other one exists too. You gotta be honest with yourself. Yep, take your stuffs. Yep. Okay. All right. How did you fare, friend? Did you find any raw nashikite? Yeah, I did. Beautiful, isn't it? Rarer than many stones and more expensive than most. They say the green is the same as the eyes of Nanasha Ulnasha, who once ruled as the Sultana. This should save Dedanin from his troubles, if there's enough left. There's far less here than what I found. Reckon those goblins made a meal of the stuff. Bloody waste. Well, I don't need any of this armor, so... You'd like a chance to make some money, right? Then I know just how I can repay you for your kindness. Swarms of sun midges have been harassing travelers along the road connecting Horizon to here. It's gotten so bad that the brass blades have started paying folks to keep the roads clear. If you find it hard to believe that swarms of tiny midges could be so troublesome, then you've never seen a chocobo driven into a frenzy by one. There's already been some terrible accidents. Do your part and slay a few swarms. After that, let Fufalupa know. He'll reward you for your trouble and maybe even offer you more work. Here's the thing with Lalafell names, they have to rhyme in some way. So like, I don't know how else to say it. So like Mimori Mori, or like where Mori's the last name and Mimori is the first name, that would kind of be one type of name that you would see. So like Fafalupa or Fupalupa or Chalupa or whatever. His name is probably Fafalupa Lupa. Or Fafalupa Fula. And it sounds absolutely garbage. It sounds like Simlish. If you've ever played The Sims, that's what that sounds like. It sounds like straight up Simlish. It sounds like Heebajiva Fufufuli. Like, that's what that sounds like. Oh my gosh. I remember trying to learn Simlish when I was in middle school because I was so addicted to The Sims. Like, couldn't be me nowadays, but damn. I really wanted to when I was younger. Because The Sims, that was my shit. I wanted to own everything Sims. I had Sims Bustin' Out, and I had 2 memory cards just for that sucker. And then I had Sims 2. Sims 2 was weird. But like, what was that? I was talking to somebody about the couch. So there was a couch in Sims 2, and you had to water it. And, like, it was the strangest couch. But if you watered it, it would produce food. And you could literally just search it for snacks. Because you were watering it, and it produced food. And I don't know why, but it's just like one day I remembered it, and so I went and I was talking to somebody, and they mentioned The Sims, and I was like, oh my god, do you remember the couch you had to water? And you could then, like, loot snacks. And then she was like, no, but that's amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, times, dude. Alright, take this. Do I need a new bracelet? Okay. Anywho. Foofalupa. What an unfortunate name. Greetings and salutations, adventurer. To what do I owe this? What? You've slain how many swarms of sun midges? You have my sincerest thanks. The brass blades have been struggling to keep them in check, so your assistance is greatly appreciated. Will you be staying in Horizon long? If so, there's much more you can do to help here. No thanks. Alright, what do you got for me? Pray allow me to enlist your aid, brave adventurer. I would have you ascertain the whereabouts of a missive I sent to Lost Hope the other day. Captain Lofric is stationed there. Ever since he was transferred, we've exchanged letters, but never before has it taken this long to reply. And so I fear that the courier may have met with some misfortune en route. She must have made it to Central Thanalan, or the brass blades that patrol the roads between here and the Scorpion Crossing would have seen something, but if she made it as far as the Blackbrush Station, she would have surely delivered the letter by now. Lost Hope is practically on its doorstep. I suggest you focus your search on the road to Blackbrush Station in Central Thanalan. With luck, you'll find her quickly. Alright, so... Chechizan, what do you got? I don't know, something about being squeamish. I'm not squeamish. Oh man, I was gonna just fast travel. Actually, we're gonna come back here anyway, so I'm not worried about this. I'm going to go ahead and use my return stone. I want to see if we can do the Rising. If we can, I'm going to do that, because it's actually a great event. I like the Rising a lot. So. Plus, you always get a really cool item from it, too, so. Let's see. Way of the Samurai, Enter the Viper. I'm not looking for either of those real quick. Although, Viper is really fun to play. Where get quest? Where get quest for Rising? Please. Let me see. No, that's Pugilist Guild. Can I seriously, like, not do Western Thanalan? Husting Strip. Yeah, can I not do the Merchant Strip? Huh. I guess I can't do the Rising. Well, that's a shame. Because it should be active by now. So, I just don't know where it is active at. The Rising Attendant. In looking to the past, we take solace in the present and think of what the future may hold. This is the very essence of the Rising. This year we have prepared a spectacular fireworks celebration. It is sure to enthrall everyone in attendance. The Rising is a period of remembrance that commemorates those lives that were lost during the great tragedy that was the Calamity. We also pay tribute to the unsung heroes who risked life and limb that others may know a brighter future. And so the streets are decorated with somber trappings and the night skies filled with vibrant fireworks. May the solemn atmosphere and bright lights above spur us to reflect on the doom portended by Dalamud, that we might give thanks for the present and muster hope for a brighter tomorrow. Lest you wonder, the observances are being held, in Limsa Laminsa. If you wish to participate, we invite you to pay a visit to the Thalassocracy. Well, I can't travel to Limsa yet, so crap. Fine. We won't do it right now. Oh, I can pick up my next quest, though. My next class quest. So we'll go ahead and do that. So sometimes the Rising takes place, it starts in Ul'dah, because a lot of the time it actually does finish in Ul'dah. The fact that it's in Limsa is interesting. It happens sometimes, but one of the things I love about Final Fantasy XIV is the events aren't really recycled. They try and do something new every year. And so it doesn't feel like you're just replaying the same event over and over and over again. Alright. Hail, Sam, you've come at a good time, and I've another task I wish to assign you. The Immortal Flames and the Brass Blades have both requested the Guild's assistance in maintaining security at Camp Drybone, a vital outpost along the Royal Allegan Sunway. The Amalja have been raiding caravans with reckless abandon, creating a significant disruption in trade. Ul'dah has a long troubled history with the Amalja, so raids are not unheard of. However, this recent escalation must be addressed. Go to Camp Drybone and search for these raiders, Sam. I've already dispatched other gladiators to patrol the region, so I suggest you speak with one of them for more information. Well, we're nowhere near going to Camp Drybone yet. That's in Eastern Thanalan. So, with that in mind, we're just going to go ahead and go to Central. We're going to keep on the path. So, I mean, I would do it, but we're not really at that point yet. And that's kind of the thing, like I said, I always try and keep it balanced. I try to keep it balanced between, you know, my class quest and my story quest. So, story quest, we're only level 11. So we have a while until we catch up with my class quest, and hopefully by then we'll have better armor and stuff. And that's another reason why you kind of want to keep it balanced, because you'll get better armor from the story quests, and some of the class quests, if you're not properly geared, you're not going to succeed. You obviously can fail quests, and those are annoying, because then the game will patronize you and be like, does this need to be easier for you? We can tone down the difficulty if it's too hard. And my prideful self says, no, I can fucking do this. Like, how dare you? And then my dumbass is sporting, like, armor that's 5 level lower than what it needs to be. So, you know, it is what it is. So just make sure that you are properly geared. Okay? It's easy. I say, as I barely ever do it. Hi, are you dead? Huh? A letter? Hi, I've got Fufalupa's missive right here. I can't say that name seriously. I won't be delivering it anytime soon, though. Got to tend to my bird's injured leg first. Even the most minor of cuts can fester if ignored. Fufalupa sent you, right? This is a pressing matter. Why don't you take it the rest of the way? Lost Hope's just past Blackbrush Station to the northeast. Look for the tents by the river. Sure, I guess. I got nothing else to do. Except run. For those that are like, why do you have 2 maps up? I like having the actual map up just so I can see the whole thing. Because yes, I could follow this, but sometimes there's like some intricate like turns and crags that you can't pass. And, you know, you might be heading the right direction, but taking the wrong route. And then you end up having to like circle back. So I try to use both maps so that I don't have to circle back, even though it makes my HUD look ugly. Like, I apologize for the inconvenience. So, but no, I honestly, playing this for YouTube has actually been strangely relaxing, and has actually gotten me excited about playing again. It's freshened it up. That's what it is. It's freshened up the experience. And you guys seem to really like it for some reason. Lothric, I got your shit. Just passing through, or will you be staying a while? Lothric, I have your shit. Fufalupa sent you. Stop making me say Fufalupa! Fufalupa sent you all this way because of a late letter? The boy is still far too earnest. Despite my demotion, he continues to call me captain. I suspect he has no idea what it means to be transferred to Lost Hope either. The Brass Blades don't give a Kieran's ass about the settlement. No one in Ul'dah does. All here have been forsaken, adventurer. The refugees, their protectors, and you will be too if you're seen associating with us. Thank you for the letter. Now, for your own good, leave. But I'm sure I've got work. Plus, you guys keep giving me side quests. How can I leave? I thought I told you to get out of here. What? Looking for a chance to do some good? I guess I can't force you to leave. Damn stubborn adventurers, the lot of you. Fine, then. Listen well. A band of outlaws has taken up residence at the XIV Manse on the ridge to the south. Their leader has styled himself heir to the Eland Quiveron, the syndicate member who died in the calamity. Spits. Achoo! The Baron and his cronies are not more than a pack of jackals. They prey on people of lost hope, robbing them of what little they have. I myself cannot act without endangering the refugees, as they know my face and will retaliate against lost hope. You, however, are not known to the bandits or their allies. If you wish to help us, then deal with the Baron. I like dealing with people. And we got all these side quests to do. Look at all this. Look at all this stuff. But yeah, I was sitting at work the other day and I kept thinking to myself, man, I can't wait to get home and play more Final Fantasy. And that's honestly a thought I hadn't had in such a long time. And so it just filled me with joy to be like, oh my gosh, I'm actually excited to play Final Fantasy again. You know, and I do still get excited, you know, if there's new content to do or if there's some event, you know, sometimes I will actually, you know, still get excited and be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this event and get this new outfit or whatever. But it's such a short-lived sort of experience. So, you know, whenever there is actually something that's really good to do, you know, that I enjoy, then, you know, it's just a nice feeling. I don't know how else to explain it other than it's just a nice feeling. I think we're heading up to these cliffs. Ooh, an antling soldier. Wow. Give me you. I'm sure I can take you. I mean, I know my gear's crap, but, you know, I'm still like 8 levels above you, right? Nice. I still haven't gotten my ranged attack, and I know it's because it's something that I get, that through questing. I know that much. Ding ding. There we go. Alright, now that I got that extra experience, we've leveled up 3 times? 3 times this episode so far? It's not bad. Mostly it's due to the earring. So, the earring that we got at the beginning of the game, it's Azima's earrings. That's mainly the reason why we are leveling up so fast. So it's like, don't get it twisted. Like I said, I have a bunch of extra items from when I got the deluxe versions of games. So don't take my experience as your experience. Because if you're leveling up a little slower, remember what I said, do the levies, get a little bit of more experience if you feel like you have to. Like, there's things you can do. I do appreciate being a gladiator in these sorts of quests, because I can take so many more hits. I remember doing these sorts of quests as, like, other classes that were not gladiator, and oh my gosh, it was so bad. Because some of these, you know, I think it was pugilist is what I was doing, and it's just like, some of these guys, like, they just, they run up on you, and they gang up on you so bad, and then you're just scrambling, is what it feels like. Here's the Baron. He's a spellcaster. Oh no, we ain't doing that. Screw you. I paralyzed him before he could paralyze me. Yeah, we ain't playing that game, sir. Baron von Quervion. I'm gonna take your raw necessity. I love high fantasy. Like, high fantasy is one of my favorite things. I don't know. You know, between sci-fi and high fantasy, give me high fantasy any day. Alright? High fantasy is the shit. Like, that's what I love. But, you know, it's one of those things where the names, dude. It's the names that get me. Like, those names, they're rough, alright? Like Foofaloopa. Foofaloopa the mini chalupa. I don't know, and I can't even talk because, like, the thing is, I wrote a God, I wrote a comic way back when I was a kid, and I'm talking like middle school. I was a 6th grader, right? I wrote a comic, and it was called The Sword of Zorks, and this girl that had been my friend, like, forever, well, she had been my friend all through elementary school, she suddenly decided that she was way too cool and didn't want to be my friend anymore, but didn't want to unfriend me, so instead she just started bullying me until I essentially, like, was like, man, we're not friends anymore, you know? She made a parody comic called The Knife of Porks. Like, nowadays I can laugh about it, but, like, that was so humiliating in middle school. But, like, I can't knock, like, weird fantasy names, because I know that I have come up with some weird-ass fantasy names. Like, I don't even know... I know that there's one bad guy I created for some book I was writing called Dragon Slayers of the Elements. And I forget the guy's name, but it was like Gorgazon or some shit, and it sounded more sci-fi than fantasy, and let me tell you, I can't judge, alright? Like, hats off to you, fantasy writers, because couldn't be me. Could not be me. Alright, we are getting some new armors. So is it done? Good. I hope that wretch died screaming. Damn. Ul'dah is more prosperous than ever, some say. That may be true for the Syndicate, but none of that wealth has trickled down to the small folk. It's all a mummer's farce. One day, I refused to play my part, and so I was made to leave the stage. Aye, my time is past. The brass blades of the rose must look to others for guidance. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, they're corrupt, right? Let's get on some of this new gear. I'm glad we're not back to oven mitts yet. As you may have noticed, I'm in no shape to leave Lost Hope right now, so in my stead I'd like you to return to Horizon and give this dagger to Fufalupa. Although it's just an old ornamental dagger, it belongs to the brass blades of the rose. I should have given it to the boy before I came here. Okay. Well, I'm going to return to Ul'dah and then use a porter to get to Horizon. Because I'm lazy. Yes. Ooh, fireworks. I hear them. Where are they? Macy? Where are they? I hear. Are they out here? Or is it too cloudy? I guess it must be too cloudy to see. Either that or they're just making shit up. Because I see no fireworks. All this fancy music and I hear the fireworks, but I don't see the fireworks. What is up, Square Enix? Whatever. I don't want to see your fireworks anyways. I'm fine. It did say it's cloudy. Alright, Chocobo Porter. Yep, higher. Take me to Horizon. I'll pay the 5 gil. Just to rest my fingers and not get carpal tunnel. And now we're back in Western Thanalan. So this is kind of what, like, people don't like about this game, is the constant back and forth. But here's the thing, we've not even started. Like, we are not even, like, a quarter of the way into this thing. In my head, I'm already thinking about, like, all the sections we still have to do. And it's like, we still have to become an envoy. And then after we become an envoy and we visit all the different towns, then we gotta do the Scion section. Once we do the Scion section, and we start doing the dungeons, then we gotta do the primals. And then once we do the primals, then we gotta do the blah 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 blah. And it's just like, we're not even close to being done. Oh no, let me off here, please. I want to kill the doggies. Yeah, we're not even close to being done. So, And I think that's what, like, it's so intimidating for a lot of people. Like, when you ask people, like, what they thought of A Realm Reborn, they'll most likely tell you that literally it's too long. You know? But the thing is you gotta think, like, they were thinking in terms of relaunching an entire game. Like, it's gonna be long. You know, they scrapped the original game, and then they had to come up with a whole new game. Like, A Realm Reborn was supposed to basically showcase, like, how much they cared about saving this game, and so they really just poured it all into A Realm Reborn to make it, like, the best game that they could have made it. And it is one of those things where it's like, they really show you that they care. You know? But it is lengthy. It is very lengthy. It is a long-ass process. But it's worth it. And yes, I am one of those people where I'm like, okay, A Realm Reborn has a good story, but it's worth it if you can just get into Heavensward, because it gets so much better. And I know I hate it when people say that, like, hey, suffer a little bit because the story gets better. Because you shouldn't have to suffer. Like, trust me, I understand. I do. Because I'm one of those people myself. The minute someone says to me, oh, it gets better, you just have to make it through blah blah blah, I'm instantly like, yeah, but blah 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 shouldn't exist. You know, if it's such a great thing, then, you know. But here's the thing. Like I said, Realm Reborn story is actually really, really, really good. Post-game, really good. Post-game had me shooketh. And then you get into Heavensward, and it's a whole different ball game. Like, absolutely. So, in terms of, like, story and wow factor, Realm Reborn is good. Heavensward is excellent. Stormblood was mediocre at best. Shadowbringers, best, like 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10 even. Endwalker, I'd give it like maybe a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. The storytelling was a little bit messy. And Dawn Trail, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. Oh, Sam, I received word from Captain Lufric the other day. Thank you for delivering the letter for me. Here's his dagger. Why do you have that dagger? Only a captain of the Brass Blades of the Rose is permitted to possess it. Captain Lufric says I'm to have it? There must be some mistake. He couldn't possibly mean to tell me that... No, of course not. I'm not worthy to wield it. Nevertheless, I shall respect the captain's wishes and take the dagger into safekeeping until he comes to reclaim it. Kid, you're missing the point. You're missing the entire point. The Brass Blade of the Rose have need of your assistance once more, Sam. Thaumaturges from the ossuary are presently surveying the footfalls for ancient relics. As the area is rife with wild beasts, the Horizon garrison has been charged with their security. But Captain Baldwin sent only a handful of brass blades. Despite his assurances to the contrary, such a small unit cannot possibly be sufficient to protect our patrons. I would have you offer your assistance to my comrades. Pray, travel to the footfalls and speak with Totaruna. Sure. Heading there now. Watch me go. Watch me run. And run into walls because I was looking at my inventory. The footfalls are pretty. Like, honestly, the footfalls is probably one of my favorite places in Thanalan. Just because the ancient, like, sinking ruins and all the moss. Like, I appreciate things like this in games. Like, oh, they're always my favorite sections. Like, always. That or anything that's, like, purely, like, crystal. Oh, I love it. A bleeding venture come to help? I ain't heard nothing from Captain Baldwin about this. He said trusted men only. Any road, we got this under control, and besides, this operation ain't got nothing to do with Foofaloopa. Boy's got a stick up his arse the size of a sabatender. No wonder the captain told him to stay at Horizon. Well, he's got the rose dagger now, so it means he is a captain, right? He's like, make yourself useful, kill all this stuff. Hey, adventure, mind running a message to Crescent Cove for us? Captain Baldwin's planning some festivities for the thaumaturge to see, and he wants them treated to the finest food and drink. Nothing but the best for our distinguished guests, huh? Head west and south to the villages, tell Raph that he's to deliver a bounty of fresh fish to Horizon for the feast. I guess, but I'm gonna kill all these Orobons first. Because I have to. 6 Orobons is what I need. Oh man, and these are very, very tanky fish. But it's okay, I'm a very tanky tank. And then I'll probably turn this in, and then that'll be pretty much it for the day. At least for now. Because lately I've been trying to go to bed at a decent time. Trying being the operative word here. I'm not gonna say I succeed very much, but I do try. I'm not going near those birds. They aggro so bad. Run, Venture, run! Run away from the buzzard! See? They're aggro! Run away! The guy's booking it. Oh, man. That was funny. I always love it when people just are like, yeah, no, I'm not staying to fight this thing, and they just take off running. And you'll see like 5 or 6 enemies just traveling, or I mean chasing after a person. And I love it so much. Oh, it just cracks me up. I'm guilty of that as well, like 100% I am guilty of that. I feel like I was just here, and then I remember that I was just here, but I was on a different character. It's so disorienting because I'm like, man, why do these have discs on their, you know, backs when I literally was just here? Yeah, I was, but I was not. I was playing as my main because I was leveling Gladiator on my main. I remember because I did the Fate where it was the giant crab named like Bubbler or something, and I got all excited thinking that maybe I could get something cool for fighting Bubbler, and I didn't. Sometimes you'll have fates that are like super rare, and if you do it right, like if you complete it, there's a chance sometimes that you can get a minion or a mount. Like I said, these fates are rare. I don't know what they are. So, I mean, beats me, really. But either way, I know they exist. So sometimes I'll see a fate and I'll be like, I wonder if this is a rare one. And instead of looking it up, I just do it and then get disappointed when I don't get anything in return. Story of my life. New gear. Oh, saucy gear. Look at that. All that protection. Look at all that protection. I'm so protected right now. This guy's like, go pick up my garbage. So this lady was like, oh hey, can you untangle my fishnets? And this dude's like, I'm basically like tired and I don't want to do anything. Go clean up stuff to make this place look decent so that people aren't on my ass for not doing anything. Empty decanter. I have thought about, like, if I want to pick up a crafting or gathering class, but here's the thing. I love gathering in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, I could gather all day long. Botanist is probably one of my favorite gathering classes, but I am not a fan of crafting. Like, and that's really sad because I loved crafting in Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft, but the crafting in Final Fantasy XIV, even though everybody says it's so intuitive and it's so more interactive, I think it's absolute garbage. Like, it is so boring and so grindy, and I hate it so much. Alright, give me pants. Give me pants so I can feel even more protected. Heck yeah, look at that. Look at all that protection. I'm super protected now. Fresh fish for Captain Baldwin? Of course, of course. We'll do our best, madam. Unfortunately, we've had a poor catch in recent days on the account of rough seas. More boats should be returning soon, but I cannot promise that their catch will please. But don't worry, milady, the captain will have his fish, I swear it. That sounds odd, sir. Sounds to me like you're being bullied, and that's not okay. Not by a long shot. So what is going on here is the question. Merlinda, or Merilda. Oh boy. You're an adventurer, are you not? I know this is sudden, but I have no one else to turn to. Last night, a gang of bandits from the XIV manse were in their cups, and I overheard them discussing their plans. It seems they've come to collect gemstones stolen from the Copperbell mines. Nashikite, I think I heard one say. They are to meet with their co-conspirator soon, at the Footfalls. Wait, what did you say? Hi, Foopaloopa. Illicit exchanges and shadowy dealings, the Brass Blades cannot abide by such that word's malfeasance? Forgive my eavesdropping, Sam. I came to Crescent Cove merely to thank you in person. I never imagined I'd uncover a criminal conspiracy right outside Horizon's gates. I must act quickly if we are to apprehend these thieves. I'll notify Captain Baldwin at once. No, wait, you mustn't. Oh, gods. You must stop him before it's too late. Captain Baldwin himself is working with the bandits. Alright. Here, boy. Yep. Time to go do something about it. Don't mind me, just gonna go run this way. Giant lion lady coming through. Man, level 18 already, and I'm thinking like, man, I hope we can get to level 15. I really wanted that to be the end of it, but we're gonna have to do this little section. And then we'll probably call it there. Oh, there's some masked figures. I mean, some hooded figures. You already know it's gonna go good, huh? Captain Baldwin, sir, I've discovered something shocking. Something horrible. Someone has been stealing gemstones from the Copperbell mines and... Wait, those gauntlets. Those boots. Why, you're one of XIV's men. Sir, that man is a thief and a scoundrel. And what of it? His coin's good, and that's what counts. What? Captain Baldwin, are you... What are you... Are you working with these men? It cannot be. Can't talk. I told you to stay in Horizon, Foofaloopa. It didn't have to be like this. They'd get their Nashikite, I'd get my guild, and none would be the wiser. But sir, what if your crimes are uncovered? What if Lord Lolorito finds out? You goddamn fool, don't you see? I'm acting under the authority of Lord Lolorito himself. No, no, that cannot be true. Why do you think people join the Brass Blades, Foofaloopa? To serve and protect? Huh. We're not the bloody flames here. We do this for the coin. You there, adventurer, do you remember me? Well, I remember you. I killed you. I am Sir Baron von XIV IV, the fourth Esquire. You killed my brother, and now I'm going to return the favor. Sure, sounds good. Well, that settles it. It's clearly in everyone's best interest that both of you die. Ooh. Hiya. Okay. It's time to do your duty. Protect your country. And he's like, why? But I trusted you, Captain. Captain, oh my Captain. Now this is one of those places where I'll use a potion, just because, obviously it's just to top off, because I took on multiple enemies, so, And I wasn't really supposed to take on multiples? Damn you both, ruining everything! Baldwin 4 yalms. Are you trying to compensate for something? Wear his spear, Sam! Well, he's already dead, dude. That's enough, Baldwin. Your partner is dead and your plans are undone. You've no reason left to fight. Stay out of this, Lufric. I don't take orders from you. I may have spared your life before, but if you interfere, I will show you no mercy. And what mercy will he show you, I wonder? You who have done so much in another man's name. What are you blathering on about? Every fisherman in Crescent Cove knew about your meeting, you arrogant fool. Quiveron's men couldn't keep their mouths shut. Imagine Lord Lolorito's surprise when he learned that a rank-and-file brass blade was using his name to advance a personal agenda. He knows? 7 hells. But I'm a captain. He wouldn't... I was once a captain too, remember? And we both know what happened to me. Well fought, boy. You've done the brass blades of the Rose proud. Captain Lofric, Captain Baldwin, he said that Lord Lolorito wouldn't waste his time on a small-scale smuggling operation. This is all Baldwin's doing. What else did he say? That all our brethren are no better, and that each and every one of us cares not for but coin? Ha! Mere excuses to justify his schemes. Aye, we've no shortage of greedy sods, some who'd probably sell their own mothers into slavery if the price was right. But there are men like you, Fufalupa, men good and true, whom the small folk respect. Which is why I gave you the dagger. The brass blades of the Rose need a leader with honor, and you're the most honorable man I know. And now he cry. Thank you for all your help, Sam. The captain and I will escort Captain Baldwin back to Horizon. Pray visit me in town when next you return. Sure. Okay. Now, we're heading back to... Oh, not the bird! No, go away! Go away, bird! Gosh. These guys are so mean. But I do want these Scaphites. So these are like Nautiluses. They're kind of cool. A lot of neat monster designs. Not even gonna lie. I liked it. But yeah, so obviously there are two militaries in Ul'dah. There's the one that is run by the Sultana, and there's the one that's run by the Syndicate. So the Sultana is more of a figurehead, as most of the laws and everything are kind of being put into play more by the Syndicate. The Syndicate are obviously super rich people, and under them, their supporters are also rich people called the Monetarists. So it's just like, the Syndicate is supposed to be a checks and balances of the Sultana, but it's honestly the opposite when it comes to Ul'dah. The Sultana is the checks and balances of the Syndicate, and so the Syndicate is trying to get rid of the Sultanate altogether. The brass blades work for the Syndicate, and the Flames, which is the official military of Ul'dah, works for the Sultana. So, like, if politics aren't your thing, I hate to break it to you, but this game is very, like, based in politics. Not real-life politics, obviously, but politics nonetheless. So, the more you know about it, the better of a time you'll have. Welcome back, Sam. So much has happened. Captain Baldwin has been arrested and stripped of rank, which means the Brass Blades of the Rose no longer have a captain. Until a new one is designated, I've been ordered to serve as an acting captain of the Horizon Garrison. Though doubtless this is only a temporary arrangement, I will do my utmost to represent my brethren and protect the people of Horizon. Thank you, Sam, for your service to the Sultanate. You are a true hero. Thanks. Alright, so, we're gonna go ahead and call it here. But anyways, leave a like if you like this series, and if you want to see more, I plan to keep playing it, of course. If you want to talk about just all the crazy stuff when it comes to things like Lalafell names, or just Ul'dah in general, like there's some crazy stuff happening in Ul'dah, then go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. If you're going to be mentioning anything with spoilers, just be considerate to those that may not have played this game before. But anyways, thank you guys so much for your continued support, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Alright, ciao you guys!